Okay, it's Roula and Ryan's Roses. If you're just tuning in, you missed it all. Well, don't worry. You know we're going to podcast this later. We're going to play it after 9 o'clock. But yeah, it was quite the entanglement of the neighborhood.
The entanglement. Isn't that like a Jada Smith's phrase? The entanglement?
I feel like this is why you shouldn't be friends with your neighbors. Just be cordial.
What? That's
cordial,
bad
but not
advice,
friends.
Eric.
Don't sleep with them, Eric. You can still be friends with
I don't know
them.
if people can.
Don't talk to your neighbors.
Yeah, just
leave them alone.
Guys, come
wave
on.
and say be nice, but
Exactly. Don't get too involved.
Don't be
'cause then
going over
you'll-
there.
Yeah.
I've never been inside a neighbor's house. Now, I do what you
That's
say.
weird.
You know, I'm like, I wave, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And stuff like that. But I've never, I don't think I've ever been inside a neighbor's
I don't know if
house.
it's that weird.
I think it's weird if you've
To
lived
go into a
somewhere for a
neighbor's
long
house?
time. Because, Ryan, you've lived there for a long time.
I've lived there for 5.5 years. I've never been in anybody's house in that neighborhood.
That's not that long. If it was 10 years, it'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought you were there longer than 5 years.
No, I moved there. Well, it's been 5.5 years since I've lived in that part of JV.
I think Jersey Village, you've been there since 2005.
Off and on.
Or 6.
You know, I moved back and forth around. I moved a lot, but...
One person agrees with me.
I don't agree
Be
with
friends
not
with your
being
neighbors,
friends
but don't
with your
be
neighbors.
friendly.
I think you should be friendly with your
You can be...
Then they be all up in your
friendly.
business.
Why do you have to invite them over to your house? They're just going to look around and like try and size up your house, and then they're going to go on HAR, and they're going to try and see how much you paid and all this crap.
Oh, my
Screw that.
goodness.
You think everybody's like...
Because people are nosy.
And they want to do
are.
comps.
Yeah, people are nosy.
I'm with Eric. Janice down the street's going to be like, you know how much bourbon Eric has
they're
in the
going to look
house?
in there, they're going to talk about it. Hell no. Rula just lets people go in there. They're probably talking
I'm
about
surprised
it.
Roula is as conscious as you are aware of like criminal crime activity.
We're not
You're
even
very-
They're my neighbors.
Or
They
just-
live right
Right.
next door to me. I know
Right.
them.
Or just people talking
you know what I
about
mean?
you.
I'm not inviting people from like the main road to come on, wave them down my driveway.
Yeah, but you know they're
Come on down. It's open house at Roula's.
You know they're
Open
talking
house,
about
my
you.
house.
You know the three of them get over there in that house, and they're going to be, oh, hear about the Rula? She's got this. She's doing this. Oh,
I
she
saw
got
her
that.
walking.
Oh,
I saw her walking. It's all a sham. She didn't have
Hey,
the
guess what,
operation.
Ahmad? I see them walking too.
she's in Europe. The background.
Yeah, it's fake.
No, I saw. She's got a badass scooter. That thing is
Oh,
amazing.
Yes, I have 2 scooters. Ryan saw my 4x4 and my Mini yesterday.
She's got a 4x4 scooter.
It looks the kind they had like on the moon.
Yeah, it does.
The lunar buggy thing.
And it wasn't until this past Sunday, Eric, that I was telling Ryan this yesterday. I took it to the end of my cul-de-sac so I could get some air because it's been such nice weather that I haven't been able to enjoy that well. And now that the 4x4 has been on the street and it was kind of a little wet and mucky, I was like, oh, great. Now I gotta
Wash it off.
I'm not weird.
You got mud on those tracks.
I have to Clorox wipe the wheels. And then the small one fits in my mom's car just right so that, we can just... I'm like
get that
Mrs.
lark.
Gulch from The Wizard of Oz.
Get one of those larks.
Oh no.
No, oh my God.
The lark.
Y'all, that's the one thing I cannot do. In the time that I have been at home for my ankle recovery and I have wanted to get out of the house, my mom comes over and she goes, do you want to go to the grocery store today or what do you want to do? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. And we've gone to the grocery store probably 4 or 5 times. The 4th time we went, my mom was like, why don't you just use that scooter? The motorized one. I go, I cannot.
I just can't bring myself to do that, Rolla. When I had that skydiving accident, I broke half my body. I remember I had to go to the grocery store to get my prescription, and I'm hobbling on crutches, and I'm hobbling over towards the lark, and I'm looking at it, and all of a sudden, some other woman saw me eyeing it, and she just went, she could move really fast, and then she grabbed it and
Half the
took
time, they're probably not charged all the way. Then you're stuck in the middle of the aisle, and you do the walk of shame, like trying to walk back with that thing.
Do you have to drag it back?
Yeah, I just feel like it's not for me. Maybe yet. Maybe give me
The
like
scooter?
25 years. I'll get on the motorized scooter.
I had a torn ACL and I had a knee mobilizer on, meaning I couldn't bend my knee.
Oh.
And when I went to a store, I'm not going to name the store, I was hobbling because I legit can't bend my knee. And they were like, "No, you can't use the scooter." And I was like,
What? Why?
Are you serious?
They actually had a scooter police?
Yeah, they didn't. They would not
question you?
allow me to use it, even though I was in this huge brace.
Oh,
Really?
I would never shop there
Yes.
again. I would
Yes.
not. That's you just messed up.
Who are they saving it for?
I have no idea.
For me,
Exactly.
They
because
would
I
not
use
allow-
it after a long leg
Are
day
you
at
one of
the
those?
gym.
Are you one of those drunk guys that?
Oh,
No,
God.
if
We
I do
reserve
leg
this
day at
scooter
the
for
gym.
our drunk patrons who cannot walk.
I don't know why they wouldn't, but they didn't.
That's crazy.
scooter rules of the grocery store don't make
rude.
sense.
Yeah, super rude.
Listen,
No.
coming up next, we're going to get some scoop, and we're going to go further into this revelation that Jada Pinkett Smith dropped us the little nuggets yesterday of what really is going on with her and Will Smith, and then we get more involved today.
Plus,
You'll hear-
our Rula, they just dropped the throwback photos of our Halloween photos.
Oh, boy.
They did.
And I got to say,
Hold
Rula
on.
has the best Halloween costume out of all of us.
Okay.
Holy crap! I did not see that coming because it's not the first one. The first one was
KRBE's Instagram and all the socials. Y'all can look at it in the meantime.
But wait for it.
We'll be back.
Flip. Whoa, Roula! Whoa!
Oh my
They had to build up
God.
to
We'll get
it.
some scoop next on the Roula and Ride Show.
Celebrity Scoop.
104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. Yesterday, Taylor Swift announced on Instagram that she was going to release the Eras Tour in the theaters one day early. It's supposed to open tomorrow as the first weekend hits for the Eras Tour film. So you could live that again or live it for the first time if you missed it. And they've extended more theaters and all the things. It's basically the quest to become like the record holder of all record holders. She's already made more money for this movie than some of those Marvel movies before they even opened.
Oh my God.
That's nuts.
Which is insane. When she
started, before she released this album and this tour, she was worth $500 million. She is easily going to she's going to be easily over $1 billion.
Also, Beyonce did a promotional boomerang with her because, you know, Beyonce's got her movie coming out December 1st in theaters.
Renaissance?
The Renaissance tour. So Beyonce was there to take some promotional photos with her. And in case you missed the latest news, Taylor Swift news, again, you know how she's redoing all her albums. 1989 is coming out. That's the next one that's coming out, her version, so she can, you know, because she still has the publishing rights to that, so she can re-record it as many times as she wants, and so then there's more money to be made from that. All right, big news yesterday late in the show, and we were talking about this earlier this morning. Jada Pinkett Smith went ahead and just blew the doors off of the relationship that she has with Will Smith after he stood up for his wife at the Oscars and slapped Chris Rock live on stage for making fun of Jada's lack of hair because he said, "Get my wife's name out of your mouth." They are still married, but Jada basically said, well, just in terms alone.
Just
Here's
legally.
the interview with Hoda Kotb that she elaborated more about.
In 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah,
I feel like you're a straight talker,
I am.
except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
burn.
why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us
Yeah.
how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
I mean, their kids are grown now. I understand if you want to stay together for the kids, but the kids are adults now.
But then other people see you guys like being with other people.
And it looks like you're having an affair,
Really,
but
it's
you're
just-
really not having an affair. You're just moving on with your life.
Hoda went on to ask Jada at what point, you know, what happened? How'd the breakup happen? Here's more on that.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, well, why it fractured, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
Jada says she considered a legal divorce, but could never go through with it.
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And I just haven't been able to break that promise.
But you still live separately.
We live separately.
Hey, to each their own. You know, it's nobody's business.
That's what I was just thinking. Re-listening to this, because we played this a little bit earlier, and re-listening to this, I was thinking the same thing,
Whatever
Ryan.
works for you works
right?
for you.
Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
I still like if you use people though, like
Yeah.
they use the
I don't
media to
know.
get their stuff around. Like we're being pawns.
Yeah, I guess because they're in the spotlight, that's
They're
why
doing
we
it for
care.
that, or they're doing it because it's Hollywood. They see research that shows that they're
a power
likable-
couple.
Power
It's
couples.
better for them
were-
to be together than
They're like
Remember
PRs
when-
telling them.
yeah, if that's what it's
Yeah.
about, then it's just like
that
screw
makes
it.
sense.
But I think it's
But
rude
remember
to
when
ask
Chris
somebody.
Pratt and
Chris Pratt.
his ex-wife,
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris, when they announced that they're getting divorced, they announced it together saying how they felt so bad for the public Like they felt worse for the public having to hear that they're not going to be married anymore.
So such a cute couple.
Than the way they had to deal with not being married anymore, because they're like, God, we're going to let all these people down. They're going to be so sad because we're so fun together and all the things. And I just said all the things, Eric. And
all the things she said. All the things she said.
all the things she said in my head.
I just think it's so
anyway,
rude to
so I
ask
can see
people,
how
though,
they're talking about
why?
that. And plus, they are a brand and you are a business. When you are a celebrity couple, you are a business. And sometimes the business is more lucrative when you're together versus when you're apart. So there's that whole other layer to the celebrity world we don't realize. How, you know, people want you to be together. So they're like, okay, let's just be together then. And if you guys have figured it out in your own house with your kids of how to handle it,
That's true.
I guess, you know, hey, whatever works. I guess it was working. But to your point, Eric, yeah, it is weird if you want to, okay, you're going to be separate people now, but you didn't tell anybody you're separate people, and you want to go have a date with someone or be out with somebody else that's not the person people think you're married to, then it just looks all
And
scandalous.
her whole show,
Yeah.
what was that, Round Table? What was it called?
Yes.
Red Table Talk.
Red Table.
It was all about being honest, and they're trying to act like they're so honest with everything they talk about. And really, you're
Well, that's
you're
why
not.
Hoda Kobe called her out. Well, you're
Yeah.
honest, and sometimes you're not.
So you're not.
Yeah. So it's good for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Roula and Ryan Show on KRBE with What's Going Down in H-Town.
Brought to you by Duncan. Hey, for the 7th year in a row, the Astros are advancing to the American League Championship Series. 3-2 victory over the Twins. The Astros are the first team to reach the ALCS in 7 consecutive years. That's amazing.
Last night was breaking me. If you guys want to have some fun, you can see Eric went live on Instagram after the game, and I was so happy to see he was live. I go, I got to get my craziness out.
I know somebody was like, I live for this. 2 of my favorite people. I want to just because I forgot. If you forget, we're just talking to each other. You forget people can watch it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, there's a lot of people watching. So go to @producer Eric on Instagram. You can also go to @KRBE on Instagram and see our Halloween pictures from when we were kids.
Roula's got the
Minus
best
Ryan.
one.
Oh,
yeah, Ryan,
yeah.
why didn't you take it as it's supposed to be like when we were kids?
I
Right?
Not
like
grown ass men.
Irvin said, hey, I like that one. Can you send that one to me?
It's supposed to be kids.
I don't
It's
have
all
any
kids.
kid photos.
Hence
I
my
don't
picture
have them.
that you see.
That's the
KRBE.
earliest
I like
one I
it,
could
Ryan.
find.
Then they have like you dress like a hobo with a stick, clown makeup,
A
and
scarecrow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Scarecrow.
They had to have an artist rendering. The camera didn't exist.
Yeah.
Hey, the Bayou City Arts Festival is taking place this weekend at Sam Houston Park. There's going to be over 200 local artists. You can get your tickets at BayouCityArtFestival.com. That's BayouCityArtFestival.com.
At Sam Houston Race Park?
No, Sam Houston Park.
Oh, okay. I
Not
was
race
thinking, where the
park.
horses race?
That'd be cool.
No.
Wait, what?
Right in the middle.
Yeah, get some art, ride a pony.
That'd be cool to see if
in the
you could
parking
draw.
lot with circles
You
away.
paint while you're riding a horse. That'd be
That would be an interesting one. Oh, and no Texas person won the Powerball. $1.73 billion jackpot went to somebody in
I
California.
won $7.
Boo.
Boo.
Oh, you did? Well, you got something.
Yeah, I won
Boo.
4 the last time and then 7.
Wasn't the last guy from California, too? Is
Yeah,
it
there's
just-
one that won the big bucks.
California.
Here's a big state.
Oh, by the way, Roula, do you remember the other day I was talking about that big Whole Foods that's closing down, the 40,000 square foot one
was
at
already
Elgin?
closed,
Okay,
right?
but
The one in
now
Midtown.
there's an article in the Cron there saying why it closed, and they said,
Ooh, what's the scuttlebutt?
The scuttlebutt is the parking at Whole Foods Midtown was predominantly in a parking garage that was only accessible by one-way streets, which may have affected customers' perception of the store's convenience. Retail, this is according to real estate brokers.
yeah.
And Midtown residents wouldn't have to go far to find other Whole Foods with more accessible parking lots.
Yeah, the parking is not the best. Like, you go
Listen.
down into that little garage and you have no
Ahmad.
service.
I hate that.
Ahmad, people from other cities are going to hear that story and say, how dumb are we? They'll be like, a whole grocery store that was amazing shut down because Houstonians downtown couldn't figure out how to get into the garage.
Yeah.
That's basically what it boils down to. That's what it
That's
sounds
kind of
like.
what the article alludes to.
Yeah, how are you supposed to park our truck in there? I can't park
True.
our
The
truck in
garage was so easy. I mean, I've been to that one
Texas
so many. When it
edition.
first opened,
Roula.
it's right near the Greek church on Montrose.
Can
I
you
go there a lot.
honestly, Roula, can you honestly tell me? I have done this so many times where I pull up to whatever my favorite grocery store is, and I'm like, no, hell no. The parking is just ridiculous. Then you turn around.
Unless it's Thanksgiving Wednesday, no. We just go after the show. Everyone's at work and we can grocery shop.
People are loving Rilla's
all.
costume, by the way. KRBE, go there and you can see all
I
of our
love it. That's
costumes
my favorite.
When we were little kids, except for Ryan when he was like 40.
I was not 40. I was 23. I was 23 in that picture.
Looks the same. I can't tell. I'm like, is this last year's Halloween?
It just goes to show I haven't aged.
Like you said, his kids' photos are hieroglyphics. So
there you go.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking of Halloween, we are going to do food wars because Halloween makes you think of like, yummy treats, tasty treats, all the things. But yesterday, the topic of food came up because fish loaf
Ugh.
was the subject matter. We want to know, what is your best and worst meal that your parents ever made for you? Like, people think about, oh, Mom, the meatloaf, or what was the best meal and the worst meal? That's going to be the topic today.
Ugh, crap on a shingle.
This guy made fish loaf.
Oh, yeah.
It was his go-to American gold standard amazing meal, and all of us were like, gross. Fish
crap
loaf
on a
sounds
shingle is
disgusting.
awful.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
You're going to have to explain what that is. 713-390-KRBE. Next on The Roula and Ryan Show. Food Wars on The Roula and Ryan Show.